Hey guys, this is Mr. Grice for Algebra Unit 8.1 Notes, Day 2, Video 2. Today we're continuing graphing quadratic equations in vertex form. Our learning target today is to still be able to graph quadratic equations in vertex form. Now, hopefully you have already watched video number 1. If you haven't, shame on you. Okay? If you haven't watched video 1, this is going to make no sense at all. And now what we're going to be doing is graph each quadratic equation by using a table of values and be sure to identify the specific parts. I'm going to let you guys do 5 and 6 on your own, so don't worry about that right now. We're going to focus on 7 and 8 because they both have fractions, and I know how much you guys love those. So, whoop. All right, so first thing we want to know, number 7. Is this in standard form or is it in vertex form? You don't know? Parentheses. When it has parentheses, you automatically know it's going to be vertex form. Okay? Now, the nice thing about vertex form is we already know what the vertex is by looking at it. Okay? We take the opposite of what's inside and the same number as what's outside. It's like, Mr. Grice, are you blind? There's nothing outside. Well, I know that. And guess what it means? It means that the y value, that next part, is 0. Okay? So our vertex is -2, 0. Now, when we're finding the other points in our table that we need to use, remember we go 2 up and 2 back. So we got -3, -4 going backwards, and -1 and 0 going forwards. Okay? Now, when we're trying to figure out what those y values are, all we have to do is plug it into our equation, where y equals -1/2 x plus 2 squared. And remember, this is the number that's going to be changing each time because you're going to be plugging in a different value. Okay? When you use the calculator, you have to be very, very careful that if you're using the division, that you put it inside parentheses so it thinks it's its own fraction. Okay? Okay, so let's go ahead and do this problem. So there's the -1 divided by 2, that's my 1/2. If you have, I forget what calculator is, but if you have the ABC button, so it'll look like 1 equals -1, like that, you need to do that. Okay, and then you're multiplying the rest of it. So you're gonna, when you plug it in the calculator, it's gonna look just a little bit different for me. Okay, but always make sure you hit the multiplication sign. Okay, so -4 plus 2, and then squared. What do you guys get? I got -2. So -4, -2. Let's do -3 together. So -1/2 times -3 plus 2 parentheses squared. And we get, ooh, that's weird. Guys, it's okay. You can have a fraction or a decimal. And if you don't know what it is, turn it into a fraction. Okay? Other people, I think you hit the second PRB or the S to D button, depending on if you have a Casio or a TI. Okay? So I'm going to write that this is -0.5 or -1/2. Okay, and it says that my vertex is 0, but I want to find out for sure. So -1/2, my fraction, times -2 plus 2 squared. Yay! It's right. Okay, now we know that those 2 points match and those 2 points match. Okay. All right, so let's go ahead and start graphing this. I'm going to start with my vertex, which is, oh, I forgot to fill that 1 point in. So negative 0.5. Our vertex is negative 2, 0. And then I'm at negative 3.5 and negative 1.5. And then at 0, negative 2, and at negative 3, 2, negative 2. Okay, now if you notice, this graph is a little wider than our other ones, which is fine. Okay, and just remember, we want it rounded. Do not make it look like that, okay? That's gross. Don't do that. Now, our vertex, remember our vertex is a point, and our vertex was the point negative 2, 0. Our vertex is a point, our axis of symmetry is an equation, and we steal it from our vertex. X equals negative 2, okay? So I'm going to come back and graph my vertex, or my axis of symmetry, which goes through our vertex, just like that, okay? And now our y-intercept, where does it cross the y-axis? I see that point right there, which is 0, negative 2. And then our x-intercepts, well, in this case, we only have 1, and our x-intercept is negative 2, 0. Remember, our x-intercept is where it crosses the x-axis. Okay? All right, let's look at our next one. Is that in standard form or vertex form? Well, this one is in standard form. There's no parentheses. Okay, so we need to know what the A, B, and C is, because the first thing we have to do is we have to do that formula x equals the opposite of B over 2A, because we have to find our vertex. So x equals the opposite of B is negative 4 over 2 times 1/2. Now, don't freak out, because 2 times negative 1/2, what's half of 2? It's 1. So the vertex is negative 4. And remember, that's our middle. So our middle point, negative 4. Okay? And then we go 2 up and 2 down. So going down, we have negative 3 and negative 2. And then going up, we have negative 5 and negative 6. All right, so what we have to do now is we're going to be plugging this into our calculators to find our values. Okay, and remember the same thing. We have to be careful when we're plugging in that fraction. Now, is this going to open up or open down? I forgot to ask it on that last one. Remember to look at the ax squared. It tells us, is it positive or negative? It's positive, so this graph should be going up. So let's find out. We got our fraction 1/2 times our x value squared plus 4 times our x value plus 8. What do you get? I got 2. Why don't you guys pause the video and see if you can get the rest of the numbers all on your own. Okay, good luck. Okay, and those should have been all the numbers that you get. So I'm going to go ahead and start graphing this. At -4, I'm at 0. At -5, I'm at 0.5. And at -2, I'm at 2. Now, once again, I know that my axis of symmetry is going to go through the vertex. So there we go. And now I'm going to draw the parabola. And remember, you want to make that bottom nice and rounded. Okay? All right, let's work on the bottom part. Now, our vertex, remember the vertex is the middle point. We already know what that number is. That is the point -4, 0. Excuse me. Our axis of symmetry, we steal the x value, and it's an equation. So x equals -4. Okay. Our y-intercept, do we know where this one crosses the y-axis? What do you think? Go ahead and take a look. Well, this one we can't really tell. Well, we weren't able to graph it here, but the y-axis, we have to remember that the y-axis is when x equals 0. Okay. So if we don't have it, we can plug it in and find out. So I'm going to go back to our equation real quick. And so we have 1/2 times 0 squared plus 4 times 0 plus 8. All right, so I know that our y-intercept is 0, 8. Let's see how close. Oh, so that's where it should have crossed. Okay. And then our x-intercept, well, x-intercept is when y is 0, and that's my vertex. Okay. Now, I know this is kind of a lot to handle right now, but let's go ahead and try and do number 5. Okay. Go ahead and see if you can just do the first couple parts where we write down is it standard or vertex, and then tell me what the vertex is. Okay, so it has the parentheses, which means it's in vertex form. And I know that my graph is going to go down. I'm going to steal the vertex from those two numbers, guys. Remember, it's the opposite of what's inside the parentheses. So it says -2. So I know that my vertex is 2. And then 10. We have to go up 2 points and down 2 points. So what I want you to do from here is see if you can plug this in your calculator and get what the graph looks like. Okay, so go ahead and pause the video and good luck. Okay, there's a copy of my graph. Got the points 0, 6, 1, 9, 2, 10, 3, 9, and 4, 6. And now, can you guys tell me what the vertex, axis of symmetry, y-intercept, and x-intercepts are? Now I know the x-intercepts, you're going to have to do some guessing here. So remember, when you're approximating, use those squiggly marks, okay? Good luck. So those are the points that I got. Vertex is 210, you already knew that. The axis of symmetry, we steal the x point. The y-intercept is 0, 6. And then we got 4.5 and negative 0.5 for our x-intercepts. Okay. Alrighty, number 6. Number 6, you are all on your own because this is just like the homework from last night. Okay. I'll tell you right now, is it in standard or vertex? It's in standard form, so we're going to need to use the formula, the opposite of b over 2a, to find that out. Okay? So you guys are all on your own. Pause the video, and good luck. Okay, and there are all the answers. Now, if you need help with this or anything else from 8.1 notes, please come see Ms. Carranza or myself. We would love to help you out. Your homework is 8.1 Practice B, which looks just like this. Okay, identifying if it's up or down, what the vertex is, and then 2 graphing. One's in vertex form and one's in standard form. I'm not going to tell you which one is which. And then number 9, you got a question. Okay? Guys, thanks for watching. This is Mr. Grice, signing off.